Hey, it's me, me, the guys with the five eyes that you see. And today I wanted to talk about Doja Cat's recent flopping and what that has to do with the agenda that the industry has for women, and also what it really means for Doja to give up her femininity. And I think I'm gonna talk about Doja giving up her femininity first, because as you guys have probably seen from watching my channel and seeing Doja Cat over the years, is we've noticed a dramatic shift in her music and her look and her image from when she first kind of came on the scene. So Doja Cat, when she first came in the industry, she was basically like many other women, a lot of girls. You know, she was feminine. You're seeing a lot of nice dresses, her in good makeup, hair looking right, really presentable. So check out her album Era of Planet Her. You see the cover, the cover is nice, her pretty, smiling and everything, just looking like she's happy. You see she has hair. She actually has hair. That's funny to say for a woman. She has hair and everything, and she just looks like a woman during this era, and this is her most popular era of existence, although it's kind of weird because she's doing a whole bunch of as above, so belowing, but she's a Freemason. We all know that from her birthday party. But here is the thing. Because she came out into pop, displaying herself as a woman, effectively making music for women. That's why she has a song called Woman. That's why her album was called Planet Her. That appealed to women. That appealed to a vast variety of women, right? And that's the thing. Pop music is the one genre that is made for women, because women are the biggest consumers. So if something's popular, women consume it. Thus, pop music is basically women music.
$153.12 is your total. Will this be cash or charge?
And because of that, her first album grossed 109,000 equivalent album sales in its first week. Now, I want you to look at Scarlet era Doja Cat. This mainly started with her donning that all diamond, whatever this is. I don't know, man. She looks like a Martian in a way we didn't think of. She looks like one big old blood clot. But basically, what the channel The Truth is, he put me onto this, is that this is essentially her blood revival initiation, because the Freemasons, blood is a life source to all of us. But for the Freemasons, the imagery of bathing yourself in blood and then coming out is supposed to mimic how, when you're a baby, you come out the mother's womb and you're usually bloody and naked. So it's supposed to be you doing that again and being reborn into another version. And for Doja Cat, the Scarlet is this new version. So if you see now, this Scarlet era Doja is extremely aggressive looking. The only time she actually looks like a woman for real is when she's all bloodied and everything. But that's also why for this album she was coming out like this with blood all over herself, because she's letting everyone know that she's a new Doja. And if you notice, like old Doja I wouldn't say she was happy, but there's a bit of a bubbliness about her. And this Doja is extremely manic, very aggressive. The imagery that she prostrates is extremely weird, and this is, I don't know, I hate this image of her. This is the most hated image I have. And she's even got these busts of the Scarlet all over the city, different cities and everything. If you've seen the music videos, you already know Paint the Town Red. You already know the other one where she dresses up as a demon. She's been letting everyone know that she's sold her soul and she's trying to push a demonic agenda on women. This is the thing. Her album is flopping because she gave up on her womanhood for the Freemasonry, the Illuminati, whatever you call it. And that is why the album is doing bad. The niche of women she's going after is honestly, it's the outcast women for the most part. The kind of women that nobody really likes unless they're into like Halloween addicts and all they ever watch is scary movies all day. You know, if you think about it, from her last album, how could most normal women like the stuff she's doing now? She's even got a song called Skull and Crossbones on her on her thing, whatever, her album. Jeez, I'm forgetting everything. It's clear to me that this goes into my second point, right? The agenda the industry has for women is they want them to turn primal and they want them to embrace demons. See, it's not about the money. The industry has all the money in the world. People keep thinking because album sales aren't being bought in the raw like they used to with CDs and singles, that the music industry is going to lose money and will be no more. That's quite the opposite. The industry still controls many variables of making your music popular, and they control many assets out there, not even when it comes to music, but they control real estate, they control parts of government. You know, these dudes are deep. And people need to understand that for the industry, your money is secondary. Your money just allows them to be assholes with it and have Cubanos smoking cigars somewhere on a patented roof or whatever, right? But the key thing they want from you guys is they want your energy, they want your souls, they want your brains, they want your electricity, which is how you function in this world. Your brain sends out electricity through your neurons that get your body doing stuff. You know, if they control your brain, they can make you do whatever they want, period. And that's real. To them, that's the real power they're seeking. Why? Because they're trying to replace Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham on this earth with themselves. They want you to worship man and not worship Yahweh. And the thing people need to realize is that through entertainment, first and foremost, a life of entertainment is what Yahweh wanted from us. And now I want you to think about that. I'm not saying everything, there's no work and there's no joy, but when we were living in the Garden of Eden before humanity fell, I mean, you can see it in Genesis. He told us to subdue animals, be fruitful and multiply, and be creators just like him. So you can imagine if we live in paradise, that is essentially living your life in entertainment, because entertainment also is building stuff, creating new fabrics, new ideas, you know, new buildings, new materials. You know, creating is entertainment. You really can't entertain someone without having some form of concept of creation or whatever, or copying. Everything is creation when you really think about it, because when the Adonai created us, we all came into business. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting a bit off track here, but this is what I'm saying, right? Entertainment is the best way to control people.
Homies over hoes, homies over hoes, homies over hoes, do the homemade, do the homemade, do the homemade.
Is the best way. When you give people just enough entertainment to keep them distracted from what's going on, then they'll essentially do anything you want. That's why when they put celebrities in front of people, sometimes people faint and everything. And you wonder, why is that happening? Because they have their electromagnetic waves in their brain on the wavelength that they want. So they can literally put a celebrity in front of you, and if that's your favorite celebrity, you feel palpitations in your heart, you get sweaty, you don't know what to say, and then sometimes you even feel like kneeling, like that guy who jumped on the field and kneeled for Messi. This album's selling less than half of what the last album sold for. So a lot of people is a flop. To me, it's not. Remember, all the demonic imagery she's been showing, it's all for a reason. That's why she has to present herself in blood for her rebirthing ritual, to show the Masons that she is willing to give up who she truly is and what she truly wants in life for whatever power they're really going to give her. That, or they have definitely blackmailed her on some BS, and she does not want that getting out. You know, the people kind of already called her out for being in the DMs of some young actor or whatever, and she really tried to go at people for that. But I mean, think about it. These places are supposed to be businesses. If you notice the industry, it seems like everything they're doing, they're trying to lose money. They're not making correct business moves, right? It's all by design. Whether it's Disney losing $1 billion trying to put two flaming flame balls in Elemental or whatever they did in Lightyear. It's not like they're doing this because they don't know what they're doing. Everyone knows there's a certain agenda that they're trying to push. They're trying to push effectively a lawless agenda on people. They're trying to fill people with a spirit of do what thou wilt, which is lawlessness. And they want people to live in as much immorality and sin and slavery as they possibly can, because there are many of us out there who have a birthright assigned to us by the Adonai within the Bible, and their whole goal is to make sure we don't get it, because they know they already won't. That's why their heaven is on earth, and that's why these are the same people trying to figure out how to implement their souls in the computers and trying to create one-to-one clones of humans and super soldiers, all this crazy stuff. Then you look at Doja Cat. When you look at her career, everything she's been working up to this point in her life, you know, really with the new look that she's going for, this Scarlet look, it just lets you know that like this is basically the end of the road for her. Because really, I don't see her coming back from this. I don't see her being as popular as she once was. Listen, don't listen to what they say on Twitter. It's been so many women and men too, very surprisingly, acting like she's such a great performer, acting like Paint the Town Red is one of the best songs they've ever heard. All that joint is catchy. All the things, if you think about it, her whole niche is just being catchy. But Doja is one of those artists where it's like she couldn't do any of this herself. That's like my biggest thing with a lot of artists like Cardi B and them. Nicki Minaj, for example, I hate on her too. She really crazy, but she knows how to rap. She could, a lot of the songs she has made, she could probably make similar like quantity like sounding songs if she really tried, because she does have a real gift for gab. Doja Cat doesn't strike me like that at all, although she does have a nice personality. But she, man, I consider her like the Paris Hilton of rap. Going from 109,000 to 55,000 first week when you're out here trying to basically glorify Satan as much as you want. I mean, come on, people. The writing is in the pudding. She's literally the most obvious Masonic plant we have seen since Lil Nas X. And even people didn't get Lil Nas X, even when he was out here trying to sell Satan sneakers. You know, eventually you guys are gonna have to accept what's going on here. Again, it's not about the money. People are out there saying she flopped like they're getting the last laugh, or like she really did. It's like, think about it, bro. Think about it. These people like Lear Conan and stuff, some of these people are billionaires. They might even be trillionaires and we don't know. Do you think they really tripping over a measly 50K in album sales? No. What it's about is it's about getting your little young girls who can't buy the albums themselves anyway, who are streaming for the most part, you know, that 7, 8 to 19, 20 demographic. They want those girls to be Scarlets. They want those girls growing up, shaving their heads, trying to look like the Egyptians. You know, that's another reason why, if you think about, because of course with the Freemasons and all, and one of her Planet Her songs with The Weeknd, they have her here in there's a Masonic image here, you know, the Grecian and everything like that, you know, the Greco-Roman statues and the Libra sign and all that stuff. But remember, the Greeks and the Romans get a lot of their cultural cues from the Egyptians, because that was the first big empire to take what was in the Babylonian mystery school system and to actually use it to form their own empire, right? So Egypt is like the granddaddy of all this stuff. And I'm assuming they had her cut her hair and paint her eyebrows on and use the kind of eyeliner she does to mimic that Egyptian-esque era, because that was a thing they usually did back then. You know, a lot of people, men included, would shave their heads so they could put on all kinds of wigs. And we can talk about why they would do that too, but again, that's some cultural things, stuff. It's not really nothing that important to go too deep on. It's just the look that she's trying to go for. But even with her attitude, you know, she seems to be more unhinged. She's willing to just go after fans and be offended at the most whatever of comments. People say she's trolling people, but how could you be trolling people when you're responding to their offensive comments, or sometimes, quite frankly, just simply critical comments with your own kind of vitriol? That's not being a troll. That's either being sensitive or that's sending a message. Either way, this Scarlet album this is her rebirth album. This is her album that is signifying to the world that she is trying to become a demon. For my final point in assessment, I just want you to look at this bat right here, right? The tattoo of the bat that she got. Now she claims that it's like a symbol, the bat is like a symbol for like life and death and rebirth and stuff like that. So again, it says here, right here in the article from People, bats often represent death in the sense of letting go of the old and bringing the new. They are symbols of transition, of initiation, keyword initiation, and the start of a new beginning. All right, so the blood that basically confirms the blood rebirth ritual, the Masonic blood rebirth ritual. That confirms it right then and there. And I also take it a step further, but they didn't choose a bat simply because of that. They chose the bat because the bat is like the ulterior form that we see in media of most vampires. When it's nighttime and they need to get somewhere, they turn into a bat real quick and get conked on the head by Bugs Bunny. A lot of these high Masonic societies are also vampirific because allegedly a lot of times they kidnap people from all over the world and they eat their body parts. If you go look up Marina Abramovic, they basically let you know in the open that they're doing this because it's part of the black magic. A lot of black magic tends to work better when you let people know of the magic, get their brainwaves looking at it, and then it makes it enticing, even more enticing when you do it or you convince someone else to partake in that stuff. But that's why she got that bat. And think about it. She gets this bat, symbol of initiation, transitioning. She has her 27th birthday party with the Freemason stuff. Now all of a sudden she goes from looking like a nice, preppy, hot young female to being basically transforming into a demon. And she's dressing up in blood and all red and trying to push that image out there to the point where she even has statues of her looking like this everywhere. And now she's this demonic little troll that is just always on edge all the time. You get it? You see it? I know you see it. You don't ignore it. She even says here too that her last two albums were supposedly cash grabs and that everybody fell for it. She says in her Paint the Town Red song, I'd rather be famous instead. She's talking about being a cash cow. So there's also this aspect of this is probably who she kind of really wanted to be, but I don't believe that too, because at one point she slipped and she was talking about she was getting tired of them working her so hard and she kind of didn't want to do it. She could quit if she could.
Fashion, I do. I really do. I love to dress up. I love all that shit. Do I want to do that shit because I have to? No.
Woo!
Sometimes I have to fucking do that shit. But no, I don't. No, I don't. But I feel pressured to do shit like that. I don't fucking want to do that.
Woo!
I want to be home. I want to I want to make music. I want to play fucking video games. I want to be doing this shit. Like complaining online. I don't want to fucking do interviews. I don't want to have questions asked to me over and over again. Every other fucking day. And all those days that were taken from me that I could have been making shit or doing something productive. That's not productive to me. Answering questions isn't productive. I'm sorry. For an outlet, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Then after that came out, you didn't hear her complain ever again because all of a sudden her head is shaved and she's dressing and acting like a demon. This is the agenda they want to push on the women in our lives, okay? Again, not about the money. The sales don't matter. When it comes to these hyper famous, hyper visual, whatever you want to call it, celebrities, it's never about the sales. It's always about the image. It's always about the influence. It's always about the reach. Everybody knows that people don't buy albums these days that much anyway. which is another indicator to you that it can't just be about album sales, because most people don't buy albums. This is actually better for the music industry, because now that people don't have to buy albums, you can be a fan of anyone for either a very, very cheap price, or you could just go SoundCloud it or something like that. But for a very cheap price of entry, you can basically access the most premium collections of all the artists you can almost think of. You know, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. There's so much music out there that you can get into. So they don't care. What's more important is like the Spotify streaming record she's breaking, or how many streams she's getting on Apple Music, because what that lets you know, it basically lets you know people are listening. They're not buying, they're listening, and that's the whole point. Remember, this is music. It's supposed to go into your eardrums. It's not just about your wallet. It's about the experience you have, right? Because if it was all about your money, then they would just make good music. They would stay making good music, and then they wouldn't let you know anything. They wouldn't be trying to push these agendas of women acting barbaric or men dressing up in dresses, right? Because that doesn't make money. Everybody knows that doesn't really make money. Look at Hollywood. Everything they're doing, it doesn't make money. Shoot, even these black boys in New York and stuff, that be, you know, the gangs that they keep signing people, even if with the insurance, it's like, why would you keep signing all these rappers that keep getting killed or going to jail? Because they know that other rappers get inspired when they see that in the weirdest kind of way. And a lot of rappers and a lot of artists in general, you know, people wonder, these guys should know about these 360 deals by now. You know, why would they keep signing them? Because, hey, even if you're in a 360 and someone pays you $1.5 million, you go buy a couple chains with that, if you a really ignorant nigga, you just gonna think, I ain't gonna pay this nigga back anyway. Because most of these dudes won't pay you back over $20. What makes you think they're gonna be trying to pay back the label over $20 million? Come on, let's be real. It's all about these agendas. It's all about the image. And I want you guys to think about it like this, man. Think about everything in terms of the electronic wavelength in your brain. The things you see and the things you hear, feel, and touch. Everything, all that is an electrical response. The electrical responses you have in your brain to your environment is how you are able to perceive reality. When the industry is able to match your wavelength with the entertainment that they present to you, they can start to shape your reality. That's why I say they don't need the money for the most part. They need your time, they need your attention, you know, which is a part of your life force. Because there are people out there that are standing and being a fan of this woman, wasting their time thinking about her versus thinking about themselves and what they can do for themselves. And that's the agenda that they're trying to get her on. You know, on the positive note, because I don't want this to be so negative, this doesn't mean that the industry has a get out of jail free card. Because another thing this could mean, though, is specifically that it could mean her influence is dwindling, because so many of her raw album sales went down. Because remember, she's dropped in 50%, but it's only been 2 years. It's not like it's been 5, it's only been 2. So there probably is a lot of women that have been turned off by her antics and by what she's been showing and displaying herself. So there's also a pretty good chance that her giving up her femininity, who she potentially really was, is also going to be stabbing her in her industry cohorts in the back. Because now we're starting to see a shift in the culture, and women are starting to see through the fact that they've been lied to for the better part of half a century, and that there's no point in trying to compete with a lot of women to obtain a few men, but also compete with a lot of men to try to obtain a few jobs as well. They realize that puts them in this black hole space of darkness where men and women don't like them at all, and then they don't like themselves, which is why women like Doja Cat are brought out to try to keep women like that, because when they are like that, then they get nothing done. If they don't become productive, then they won't end up reproducing with anybody, and they won't produce the next future of, you know, productive young citizens. In turn, ends up decreasing the population, which they're doing. Everybody thinks it's gonna be with guns and butter. No, it's with buns and butter that you decrease the population. Because if the women don't get with the men, there's no new babies. People die off. population goes down. It's as simple as that. And man, it just gets deeper and deeper. But I don't want to rant for too long about this because it was something just as simple as album sales. But I just want you guys to always remember that the industry likes to take the money out your pocket, but they want to take the electricity out your brain first and foremost, because they worship Satan and they know that Satan is on the losing side of things. See you guys later.